I want to put you on the spot a little bit here. So here's the thing. Obviously, we are talking about a few months ago, but potentially, like you say, you can still correct the mistake now. There's actually a famous quote, by the way, that says, essentially, if you make a mistake and then you refuse to correct it, you have made another mistake. It's a great fucking line, isn't it? Like, you don't have to accept, like, well, sorry, I just fucked it up before. Well, then, if you're G2, you can fix that. You've got money. You can trade players as well, by the way. You can get money for them. So my question will be this, right? Is there a player as an IGL you think they should have gotten? And if not, since as we say, it is G2, is there someone out there, maybe they could even be in a team now? We're just speculating, obviously. We're not saying this person has to break the contract. What type of person should they be bringing in? Or do you have names that you would want?
For example, I said this in a tweet and people got me a lot of shit for it, but I'm going to say it again. I offered basically 2 options for G2 publicly to fix their freaking team, right? One of them to get, like, Glaive, which is...
It's bold.
People.
Sure.
Yeah, preaches. There people are talking like that. That's an interesting thing. When I mentioned Glaive, people are like, yeah, he's washed up, 2 years, nothing. Right. All the bullshit. It's like they forgot he's the greatest IGL that ever was. Won fucking 20 titles, 4 majors. The guy knows how to fucking IGL, and he's not old, right?
No,
he's not that old.
No.
Yeah. So, and he understands the mid-round calling. He understands the stress. Remember the shit they did in Australis in the back in the day where they were like the best. Remember the mid-round calls? It was always like on point. Yes, he had Magisk, but you cannot tell me that Magisk is a better secondary caller than Nico in any way, right? So get him there, and see what happens. Obviously now with Australis being whatever, I know you're a big fan of them, but the thing is like. You can get him, right? Maybe. I don't know. He signed a contract for 3 years, but there is always a price. Everybody is on sale.
I'll even say this: as much as people think that there isn't, because by the way, that's one thing I also did fuck with Carlos. It's not a joke. He really did try asking Na'Vi how much for Simple. He did go to Vitality. How much was it? Now, yeah, obviously they're going to tell you sort of like put another 0 on, dickhead, like to just tell you to fuck off. But you have to at least ask, because here's the thing: every now and then there might be a 1% chance they might go. You know what? I can't admit to it. Maybe I'm in financial trouble. Maybe I don't think this lineup can work. Because that's the thing about the Astralis move, right? The one thing people won't get is they'll think, but they just signed him to that huge deal. He's the face of Astralis. Yeah, but here's the other thing. If you look at how Astralis does deals right now in esports, they clearly don't have a lot of money, or they do not want to spend money. So if you came, here's the difference. That might be the one, Kassad, where if you came and you really want to be ballsy, that's where you pay like 400k for him. Dude, that might be worth it, because you're doing it for the next 3 years, right?
Absolutely. The thing is, like, let's put yourself in a Glaive's position right now, today. Like, does he want to play? Like, look what Config did, and how he got himself into trouble and eventually expelled from the team. Zipnix is not the player that he was anymore. Definitely, everybody, and he knows it. I think.
Yep.
They don't have the offer. There is a rumor about device and not device, and even if device returns, who knows what kind of device are we gonna get?
Yep.
Are we gonna get the old device or the 2 years later device? Like, because he hasn't played competitive over a year. Like, it's a problem. So put yourself in a Glaive position. Like, do I still want to be here? Like, this thing is falling apart for me as far as I can see.
Yes. I bet it's super demotivating. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still good at what I do. I'm still motivated.
That's an angle I think people are missing as well. Because it's one of the reasons why when I say some of the other names, and by the way, people like Snappy and Carrigan have made me look like a fucking genius on this. For IGL, it isn't like star player. Like, you know what? If I said, like I used to, Shox could still be the best. Like, that is delusional now. I am just being a Shox fan, and I just liked him too much 7 years ago. IGL is different, guys. IGL is the role where, sure, your individual skills could degrade, but your brain, the part you used to play the game, only gets better. It's like being a chess player. You're getting better and better and better if you go. Doesn't matter how good you are at 18, and when you're at 28, you're going to be even better. Aren't you? You're going to be a super genius. So I think for certain IGLs, they're even the players I'm willing to really take out of the fucking trash heap and bring a guy back, like people like Glaive did originally in Astralis. People like Carrion have to come back to FaZe. Like, I think you can gamble on these way better than other players.
That's the final of my point when it comes to the IGL. And people were saying the same shit about Snappy.
Yes.
When Snappy joined I don't know what was the lineup before. And
Contact.
Yeah, and then eventually into ends, I was like, oh, fuck this guy, he's so washed up, he's so shit, he should never be there. And then all of a sudden ends is fucking top 5, playing the finals of Pro League, semi-finals of the Major, qualifying as a Legends right now with the same Snappy. So what the fuck is the problem? That doesn't apply to Snappy, but it applies to Glaive, who won 4 fucking Majors and 20 plus titles and had the best year in Counter-Strike. For me, he's one of the best, if not the best the IGL has ever played.
I'll even say this as well. It could even be true, by the way, maybe because all those years online when, again, if you're a guy who's in the final or semi-final of every tournament, you don't give a shit about an online tournament. How could you? It wouldn't make sense to care. It would be like being someone going for playing the World Cup to having to play five-a-side football. You're not going to try your hardest. You're going to lose loads of games. So my analogy on Glaive would be this. Dude, I'll tell you what tomorrow will decide if Glaive ever had anything left in the tank. If you tell him you can have prime Nico, mate, he'll just come, like, if either he's got nothing and he's going to do nothing immediately, or he would be so motivated, because there's another thing people don't seem to get about those Astralis guys. When they were all together, there didn't have to be any infighting because they were winning together, and Zonic was the GOAT coach, and Glaive was the GOAT IGL, and Device had the most titles in MVP. When they split apart, dude, I even saw this when, that's why I think Device said all that shit in that Nip video. They all want to prove separately, like, it was me, I'm the guy, or I was the best, like, it wasn't just a team, only. So you don't think Glaive wants to prove that and win without Device maybe, and win without fucking Zonic? Of course he does. And if he could do it, by the way, someone like Nico's your fucking dream ticket to do that. It's like Phil Jackson. Everyone used to say, you only won because you had Michael Jordan. Seems like, right, I'll go get some other players then. The joke is they still said that about those players, but that's just fans for you know what I mean?
He goes to fucking Lakers, wins the title with Kobe and Shaq. Like, it's ridiculous, right? The thing is, like, obviously he didn't do so well in the Knicks, but whatever, that's besides the point. But the thing is, like, when it comes to Glaive, you know, just imagine the impact that he would have in Nico, and like the confidence that he would bring there, and the experience and everything that he learned throughout all his years, good and bad, right? So he can deal with the bad shit and he can bring the good shit as well. So, and then Nico, and the both ways, it would be like two-way street where Nico is trusting in Glaive completely. How would that boost Glaive's confidence and his in-game knowledge and in-game, you know, the mind boost would that be for Glaive? Coming from Nico and Hunter and other players. And obviously, is m0NESY Device? No. But can he be the Device, the new Device, consistent? Absolutely, yes. The kid is amazing. Is he still there? Is he there yet? No. But the thing is, like, that would be just one option for them to get better. The other one is, like, people gave me a lot of shit for this one too on Twitter. I said, like, Hunter can be the IGL. I can tell you that right now, and I can guarantee you with 100%. You spend 10, 15, 20 minutes tops talking to Hunter about Counter-Strike and the game and you know how you want to run your game and things in game, and you will immediately realize that he can do it. He definitely can do it.
By the way, a little thing I think we should tie that into, because people are going to think, obviously, when someone hasn't been in an IGL traditionally, that can be a really bad move. The reason why I think in your case it's an interesting angle is that's what you did with Azza. Remember, you got Nifty originally, and at the time, everyone would have told you Azza is just an entry player who is skilled with an AK, so they would think, oh, it's like Apex, he could never be an IGL. Like, dude, he became a pretty fucking good IGL when he swapped over.
Look at Apex. Apex is a prime example, right? Azza was good as well, but, you know, it wasn't like a high profile like Apex is, right? So look what Apex is doing. They won fucking Pro League. They're like one of the contenders right now in the major. People are going to think of them seriously coming into the Rio. Definitely, you're going to be looking at them. You're going to be one of the contenders. Nitra wasn't an IGL, was it? You know, he was also aggressive player, you know, behind the leash and in front of a leash back in the day. So why couldn't Hunter do it? Like, people are just like a little bit, you know, blinded by some things, and they don't understand. Obviously, they don't know, you know, they see what they see on the screens when they play matches, in the interviews and the videos like this, but they don't understand what's actually going on other than, you know, that you would understand if you talk to the player, right? If you have the initial like conversation and talk to them and see how they actually think about the game and how they see the game. So I can see that happening. You know, I think that could work.
It's an interesting approach, because here's the other reason why that's not a terrible idea. It doesn't cost any money. Like, we can do that tomorrow. We've got that guy signed for 3 years, so that's the reason why it might be worth the shot. And I'll say this as well. One of the few criticisms, because you notice again, people also think I hate Hunter, because when Nico was fucking the shit last year, Hunter was like good, but he wasn't the same player he is this year, where his stats were way higher, he was looking way better. So what my problem with Hunter is, the joke is, if people think I think Nico's too egotistical, I think Hunter's not egotistical enough. Like, I'd love to have his skills, and I'd go fucking mad, mate. The joke is, I'd be like Electronic. I'd be like, right, you and me, we're going to race for the MVPs every fucking tournament, mate. We're going to wreck them all. I almost feel like Hunter's suited to be more of a team player in that sense. So maybe IGL's the role for him.
Yeah, maybe. It could be like a decent not a decent. It would be a good shot for them to get somebody aggressive, like Yekinder type of player, aggressive. Like Jakem, maybe a little younger version of Jakem, right? Maybe somebody who is like 23, 24, somebody who is super aggressive to fill that entry role, and then they would be unstoppable.
By the way, isn't that the easiest role to recruit for in Counter-Strike? That is the FPL players. You just go out and get some guy who likes to run in with the good AKM, and you say, "Great job, mate. I've got exactly the mission for you." You run in like that. You don't even have to be the big brain. You just shoot people.
I'm going to flash for you. We're going to be behind you. Just go in and do your thing.
Yes.
Simple. Yekinder does exactly that. He just runs everywhere. He's entering every place. He's confident as fuck. And he gets the job delivered. You have a Liege following up. You have OC, who is delivering the op. He was good in the playoffs of Pro League. He was especially good in that playoffs. And, he has the skill. So it works, right? So get somebody aggressive, get Hunter to IGL, or get Nico to IGL and Hunter to secondary. It's going to be fine as well, and it's going to work. 100%. It's going to work better than this. That's for sure. I guess it can get any worse than this. But the thing is, like, yeah. But the thing is, like, there are options for them, But right now, it's all a matter of who is in charge there, what are they thinking, who are they going to listen, how much money they have. It's like a little bit of a mess. I really want to see what's going to happen, to be quite honest with you.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.